questions over here? Anybody else down here? Yes. It really does help if you come to the mic because we want to hear what you have to say.
But I'm Molly.
Pull it off the screen.
Thanks. And I think I was about the last person there at the store before it burned down. I have 3 sons and had a couple of other kids. We started at my sister Susan's for some reason, I'm not sure why. Rode down Richardson Road on bicycles, and it was the longest ride my 5-year-old son, Brooke, had taken that day. And got to the store, it was almost closing time. For some reason I said, okay, we'll have ice cream cones. Didn't usually do that at 4:30 in the afternoon, but we did. Remember Trevor Snap going out on the rocks there by the tanks, and it was blowing really hard. And that's where he ate his ice cream cone, climbing around. But actually, when I was working with a woman named Alice Lucci, who was a boy, and Michelle Fowler's aunt, she said that she was the last person there. So I don't remember them there, but she and her husband were also there at closing time.
Anyone else?
Larry, can I say one more thing?
Sure.
Because this is a testament to Lopez Island. As you heard Larry say that, people, everything ran on credit. And people paid at the end of the farming season, at the end of fishing season. If it was a bad crop year, if it was a bad fishing season, you didn't pay, you paid the next year. So when my parents sold the store, my mom accumulated all the debt. She kept all the debt that went with it. And within 3 years, every single nickel of every one of those debts we paid. And I just, like I said, that's a testimony to the people who lived on Lopez. And one last it was a couple of years after she sold the store, and she said, Mary Anne, I got this letter. And it said, Dear Mrs. Lundy, when I was 15, I shoplifted something from the Richardson Store. Enclosed is a $5 bill. Please forgive me.
Well, okay, go ahead.
What can you tell us about the building that's on the dock now?
The only little bit of a building that's left there, that is the old oil, little oil shop. That's where they had the cases of car oil and grease guns and grease and stuff like that.
There's some
Ted was
office
alluding to
space.
the fact that all the old boats, back when the cannery, the original dock burned down, all the marine engines at that time, most all of them, did not have reverse in them. They had to stop and start. And it was common for boats to either not start again in reverse or slip back into forward gear. It was common for the ran docks. It happened numerous times all over, everywhere around the town. So it was, they built them pretty stiff in the bow, so they did hit pretty hard, I think. But a lot of them leaked too, just couldn't get them banged around so much. But that was real common occurrence. But this is, it was a very sad day for Lopez. And, I really feel good about the amount of people that are here tonight. This is probably half again more than we had last year. And I really want to thank you all for participating. Lopez history is a living thing. It's happening every day around you. You all are living Lopez history right now. It's your lives are intertwined with ours. You're part of this now. This is part of your history, part of your culture. Keep that in mind when you go out there and interact with your friends and neighbors. It's history, and it's going to be interpreted in some ways. So try to make sure it's interpreted in a nice way, a good way. So thanks everyone for coming, and we really appreciate it. Big hand for the crowd here. I'm sorry, I know you missed Gary Alexander, he's a really great old MC, but he had to, the board has a deal where you can serve so many years and then you have to step off for a year, and he had to do that this year. Maybe he'll be back, we hope so, but maybe we'll see him again, but we hope he's doing. Yeah.
Thank you.
Pardon me?
He's playing music for the community at the Shakespeare play tonight.